Okay, here we go.
Here we go. Let's see if my stuff is working here.
The one thing I didn't check was my mouse sensitivity.
Oh no, yeah, mine's
I'm gonna arrow key it up. We got this. Easy.
It's been a while since I've observed here. Bear with me, friends.
I will. Don't worry, guys. I'll flamer for you. You don't need to do it.
That means that Kevin gets to do the next game observing if he does that. Absolutely.
It's gonna be rough, but boy, am I gonna click on every hero. Let me tell you, my biggest pet peeve. Yours too, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, that drives me nuts. I'm just like, what do they have for an item? But yeah, all right. So we get a little bit of action over here. Everybody's getting into position. They're ready to fight for this rune.
Trying to make sure they don't invade and contest and get wards in like aggressive places to spot rotations potentially. This cliff to the south of the mid tower certainly seems very powerful in terms of, because when rune contestation does happen, supports are going to move over at the 2-minute mark, contest that rune, and then what happens is if the support rotates and they see them coming, the mid just rotates over, and with the other support, they just kill that guy typically. And if you don't have vision of that area, you don't see it coming, the mid ends up getting some extra kills in the lane, and that can end up being pretty impactful. That means leg. I have no idea what that one means.
I think he said leg. Anyways, yeah, no, it'll be interesting too. You know, you want to have those rotations, especially when you look at these mid heroes particularly. They like to be able to fill up a bottle. They like to, you know, have this extra mana to work with. And an action rune early on could be very, very big for either one of these heroes. So definitely.
That is true.
I'll be interested to see, you know, if they have these rotations, how high of a priority they place on it, or if they're going to be babysitting a little bit more, coming out from both sides here.
Yeah, I would say giving Void Spirit an abundance of mana is a little dangerous at time. He's going to be more harassed by Lina typically, but he did pick his hero knowing it would be up against Lina. A lot of mid players, when they pick their mid later, they do ban Lina, knowing that that hero can bully you quite well. And Chris Miles also going to be able to just jungle really well on Lina too. That's usually what is common. A lot of creep kills, maybe less rotations and Void Spirits. So when it comes to power runes, I'm more worried for Beast Coast side. If BZM's able to get his hand on a haste, an arcane, double damage, invis even, those runes are very powerful to get Void Spirit on the map and get some really crucial kills. So got to be careful for those. And because they have a clockwork with boots, they should be doing really well on the rune contest. You don't have to waste as much time moving around, especially against a Grimstroke. He's a 290 movement speed, pretty slow support actually. So contesting runes going to be a little bit harder.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely one thing that I think a lot of fans understand is the fact that Gojira is very, very active early. This is not a support that likes to stay in the lane, babysit, whatnot. You know, he'll get some harassment done, but Mars is one of those heroes too that, you know, fairly survivable after a couple levels, isn't going to have too many issues. And then we're going to start to see this clockwork just start making space as he runs around the map.
Yeah, again, I think it's going to be a really good clockwork game when he initiates correctly. As long as his team can follow up, hook shot in, land Mars stun afterwards. You can pin them in place. You can do disruption into Mars spears. So they've got pretty good reliability. It also makes the Lina better too to have the IO with it. The clockwork.
Whoa.
The clockwork. The other spherical shaped white shape on the top of the screen is what I was thinking.
Okay. We'll let you have that.
Even though he's got that Dino helmet, the amazing Dino helmet. But yeah, set up Light Strike array kills or setups. That way Lina can do a huge amount of damage. Again, it's the scary thing is the counter initiation. If they get like Grimstroke link paired and OG initiates and they don't have their BKBs up, Beast Coast is going to be in some danger. So that's what they got to play for. Once they get BKB on Lina, they're going to be pretty happy to fight because Lifestealer's BKB is always ready to go. And then they could also do some cool infest combos too with Clockwork and Lifestealer jumping out, or he can save his ulti to try to save allies. I don't know if you can infest while you're latched by Grimstroke, but if so, that'd be pretty powerful.
I don't know. I actually haven't tested that out.
I feel like you probably can't. Kind of sounds like one of those abilities. I'm going to look it up. Screw it. We're paused.
All right, let's go. You take a look for me here. It looks like they're trying to settle up some lag issues currently.
This usually happens in the first games of the LAN, unfortunately. There's just going to be some small stuff, much like how I didn't notice that my mouse sensitivity was different than I would ideally like. Pro players can't mess around with that stuff. If something feels different, they're just playing the game is going to feel different. It's going to affect their likelihood to win, and it's going to be very frustrating. So they usually...
their lag conditions already are going to be or their ping rather, sorry, their ping is going to be incredibly different than...
Exactly. So sometimes this stuff just happens. It's pretty standard for tournaments. I know it's going to seem weird, but hey man, this is the basically the first LAN we've had in a long time, so
I know, I'm so
It does
excited. I
happen.
cannot wait until we get into that arena and we get to
Yeah,
hear the
me too.
crowds again. And oh, it's going to be absolutely wonderful. But they're giving a little love over here on the map. They said that they love Misha, which I think is very sweet. Drawing a little bit.
Moxie, there's a lot of text about this ability. It's
Well, then let's go,
It's,
Purge, Mr. 9-hour patch notes.
there's so much. I mean, I appreciate all the detail, but it now has so much detail that I cannot find the specific detail that I'm looking for. I bet there's a little icon or something. Pierces spell immunity. That's a hotkey. Not blocked by Lincoln Sphere. That would suck. You're like, let me infest you. Then it breaks the Lincolns on your ally.
Just,
Oh,
oh
shit.
my god, I
Oh,
can't believe you've done this
Sorry,
to me.
dude. I didn't mean to Lincolns block your survival.
Look at this little guy. Look at this guy. Tiny is definitely like I think the happiest hero at level 1. Like he's got a little Christmas
Yeah.
tree. Looks like a little toasted marshmallow over
I
here.
was just thinking about that the other day because when we did the AR presentation stuff at TI, they put all the hero models in, but they put in the regular base Tiny model. And I wanted to make a demonstration about like, look how powerful this guy is, destroying
He's
trees,
just
but
so
he's this like
happy.
cute little
Yeah.
rock dude. And I'm like, no, this is not the Tiny we fear. We fear the level 15 and later Tiny, where he does like 40% extra damage from all the items he buys.
Or if you were at TI, you know, the wolf Tiny. That was the common
Yes,
thing.
the wolf Tiny was.
Oh
That was
my
like they
God.
already do 50% more damage, 40% more damage from the tree, and then they also get like a 40% crit on top of that, which is just a big damage increase on top of a big damage increase. That's how you get the OP stuff, guys. You stack those percentage bonuses,
Brought to you by Purge Gamers.
just like investing.
This Mars is like making his way through a rock here.
I can't find it. There's so much to read.
Purge, you had one job. One job. You're supposed to find out.
One job: read these extremely detailed
You
notes about
literally
game
are the
mechanics and.
Father of
I'm not
patch
the
notes.
I'm the
like,
patch notes man. I am not the mechanics man. A lot of people like I do know a decent amount of mechanics, but I am not the mechanics expert. Yeah, I think Fogged is, to be honest. That
Fogged-
guy
yeah, no.
just tests shit all the time. Like every time I see him, he's like, "Yo, guess what I found? I
Did you
found
see
that
the
when you
status resist off of Pudge and Crystal Maiden? And you're like, whoa.
he was messing around with stuff yesterday, and he just found a new one. He was playing Rubik. He had Rubik and a Morphling. The Rubik stole the Wyvern spell because there was that like bug with
Oh, yeah.
Cold Embrace, and then the Splinter Blast would kill an ally. When Morphling turns into the Rubik, he gets both of Winter Wyvern's spells because the way the shard works is it gives you Splinter Blast to come off Cold Embrace. So when a Morphling turns into a Rubik now, he gets all Rubiks and 2 Wyvern spells.
There was
New bug.
another bug actually too, where if Rubik stole the Splinter Blast and got the kill with it or something, it would be credited to Wyvern, but only under very specific circumstances.
Exactly. That was the bug that he was showing us. He's like, oh, let's see if it's fixed. Okay, it's fixed, he said. But then he, for some reason, stole with Morphling. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the game like that that can get wacky. Most of the time doesn't matter. Probably won't see it this game, but let's see how this is working out for him. Seb just doing his best. His own Whisper, going for Blast. Gojira did plan to pull the creep wave. Only found a range creep, though, so a little bit of a mistake there from him. Maybe don't want to lane head-to-head against the Tiny with his huge base damage.
Does make it a little bit difficult for sure, but where do you think we're going to see the most action coming out of these lanes?
Probably the safe lane, I assume.
Which one? There's 2
That's
safe
a really
lanes.
good point. That was a real shit response. Beast Coast, a safe lane. So
Okay.
the Lifestealer Shadow Demon versus the Slar Dark Grimstroke. I guess the downside is that their ability to get kills kind of low because there's no Inkswell follow-up if you rage at the right time. And you could also disrupt the guy that's about to get popped or the guy that's trying to stay close to explode. So maybe that isn't the place where we'll see a kill, but mistakes could happen. And with that said, I guess maybe it's going to be Clockwork in the end. Forcing a kill up here against Seb and Yuragi. He opts to go Cogs level 1, gets a double Cog burn here against his opponents. Does not secure that range creep though, so Seb's gonna be happy to deny that one.
Do you have to say though, this mid lane feeling pretty nice for C Smile. Currently sitting at 11-2 for CS, 9-1 over on BZM, so not too far behind. And again, Lena is a ranged hero. Will make things a little bit easier, but have those water runes up and running. And we'll see that BZM will collect. He does have that bottle already, whereas C-Smile, not quite there yet. But BZM going to be able to go and get the other water rune, so I'll be feeling good about that.
Surprised he was able to get his bottle so much faster than Chris. Maybe Chris didn't buy in time or something. I'm a bit curious because that gave BZM 2 water roots. Oh,
I caught it. I caught it at the very last second. They're going to lose Stinger here, too. So Amar getting himself a double kill.
Oh, my God. Hector got Ghoul Frenzy instead of Rage. They did have Disrupt. They must have used it, and then they must have gone for the Inkswell kill after. That's a really big mistake, I feel like. Like, I totally get it. Ghoul Frenzy is a great skill. It provides slow and bonus attack speed to your hero. You'll get more last hits. You'll trade a little bit better against Slardar, which is probably why he wanted to do it. Because, I mean, if he goes Rage, he every time Slardar wants to hit him, he always loses that trade in a big way.
Right. Even
with Feast. If he goes Ghoul Frenzy, he'll trade better. And he probably was relying on Stinger to save him with Disruption, but they must have messed it up. Or they used Disruption in a different way, and then OG re-engaged afterwards.
I wonder if they were being aggressive with it, perhaps. Maybe they just miscalculated a little bit.
But that's a big deal. That's a double kill in a lane that was already kind of spooky. So if Slardar gets out of control here, this is a big danger.
Did see that they got a courier snipe, though, in that top lane. So Yuragi not going to be able to have that courier available to him for a little bit, thanks to Gojira.
I wonder if it looks like he got his items delivered. He got a close of haste. So
he did get it delivered before him, though.
Big item for sure to get those last hits. Oh, Yuragi's interesting item build. He's going straight for treads into Aeon Disc into Rapier. Very cool itemization for the timing so far. See if that works out for him. My expectation is a solid no, but he'll switch it up as needed, of course. See if he goes. He's going to go trade out 7 bit. I don't think this is going to hurt Gojira that much here.
No.
I mean, he's not going to cast any more spells. The Netherward's down, but it reduces the damage by 10%. That's all he's getting out of it. He had a magic stick, healing salve. Now he wants to secure the ward last hit for 20 gold. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Here it is. Oh, yeah, there it is. Got it just in time.
It's a half a last hit.
That is indeed.
But yeah, 10% less damage dealt from the battery salts. Save Seb a little HP. Pretty close in the mid lane, last hit wise, so both players are going to be happy.
Yeah, we're getting closer and closer to those level 6s where we're going to start to probably see some sort of rotation. I think it's a little bit scary. So, I mean, the nice thing about Alina is that she is going to be able to put a bit of tower. Oh, I did not catch that one. All right.
Run down Seb. Looks like they battery salt and Cog caught Seb. Ends up dying, so good for them. And then it looks like he just used Spear from long range, so just Seb getting punished probably used his salve after he got traded low, and then Gojira ended up catching him. So that's going to lead to Yuragi getting a biz zone.
They tried, oh, look at this. They're going after the current yet again here. Gojira continuing to just be annoying. Does, of course, have those power cogs. Toss back up, coming up Yuragi. They get the spear off. He's being held in place. A follow-up with a nice hit with that shield. They did a little bit more damage. One more hit should do the trick. Do they have it? Can they catch him in time? Yes, they can.
That was a really cool kill, actually, because he had just enough mana to battery salt. I thought he might go for that, but instead he goes for the cogs. They get the spear follow-up, then they get lots of right clicks in, and they secure the kill on this 0 armor hero. Very, very easy to kill with right clicks. So really nicely done by beastcoast so far in their off lane. It's going quite well. So both safe lanes getting a little bit pressured more than they expected.
Going to continue to poke a bit, but they did rotate Taiga here now to the top lane, which is going to give a little bit more breathing room here to Hector. Amar's probably feeling pretty good, though. He did get the double kill earlier.
I mean, he's feeling really good. He's almost level 6, and Hector just hit 4 right before this creep wave met. He's about 4.5 now, but that's a full level advantage for Hector. He's got treads finished. He's going to go Mask of Manus. This is his specialty build. He just wants tons of attack speed because he knows that when he goes on somebody, he's going to be able to secure kills by getting all those bash levels. Look at the damage. Yeah. You can't offset this with Feast. Slardar is a lane-winning off-lane hero who kills the carry a bunch. He doesn't farm super fast, but he makes you leave the lane because he's just so good at trading with bash. This is one of the few teams I see pick the hero.
He's very, very good with it. When I think of the Slardar, I usually end up thinking of Amar, and it used to be Buxy, right? Buxy played a lot of Slardar as well.
It was a hero Team Liquid liked to use to secure Roshan, but Amar, excellent laner. He knows the ins and outs from playing Timbersaw here, and Hector just can't even approach the creep wave most of the time. He's just going to keep getting amp damaged. That way Amar knows exactly where he is and where he's coming, when he's going to approach the creep wave, that kind of thing. In the meantime, Taiga's been stacking up Ancients here. That's a 2-stack for the Ancient and a 3-stack for the large camp, so we'll probably see BZM clear that later. So Amar definitely is not. Little trading on Seb top, he's looking in trouble here. Cogged, battery salt.
Gojira's just running him down, pops the fairy fire, but that's another kill here going over for Gojira. Whisper sitting a little bit low, does have to be careful. He's just gonna teleport away, he knows. Oh, okay, BZM though following up. That's going to be a kill on Whisper.
That was just in time there. I thought he was gonna make it. He might have been a greedy TP actually. I didn't see where he's teleporting, but it did feel a little long. Maybe he was trying to teleport to tower.
That's possible.
To stick around in the lane more. Not sure, but he's going to have to walk back to the lane now. A little tough for him. But on the bright side, they did kill Seb, so still more experience in gold game. Gojira top actually kind of in a weird situation. He tried to hold the creep wave outside of tower range to help give Whisper the experience. Because again, he's got to get back to this lane. He's got phase boots and a smoke here. So Gojira delaying this as long as he can. Now the illusion's actually tanking the tower. This is a bit of a mistake from BZM. This means all of these creeps are alive for Whisper to get back. This means Whisper's experience gain is not hampered by his death and TP interruptions. That was a really nice heads-up play by Gojira to help secure him that laning stage. Very cool.
Very close. Oh, he does pick up the level 6. We've got the Arena Blood online now for Mars, so it's something that they're going to have to be aware of, but... Okay, and we end up losing Stinger. Mark giving out the high five here, down here.
There's that rotation thing. He moves over, and the mid collapses with the support. They get that nice kill. Really nicely done. K1 Hector now rotating to the mid lane to farm, actually.
Right into that remnant, but
gets the deny. So valuable. But yeah, Armlet is the build for Lifestealer this game. It usually is, but it's especially the item this game. He needs as much armor as he can get. Against a Slardar, and Armlet is an excellent attack speed, damage, armor item for strength heroes, so this will be perfect for him to help survive some of the Slardar problems. In fact, they might try to kill bottom.
They're going for Amar for sure. They pinged it out. They'll start off with that banishment ball for the LSA. Do have the Laguna Blade, and Gojira's here. He's going to make sure that he's not going anywhere.
Excellent gank there by Beast Coast. And maybe not something that OG expected with Hector TPing in the mid lane. They probably thought like, all right, they're giving up the bot lane. Slardar's too scary, but then they rotate there's two supports and Lina, and it was a straightforward kill.
I feel like that was very necessary, though, because Amar's just having too good of a time in that lane, currently sitting at the top of the net worth.
Yeah, he was like, he had a good chunk difference.
Oh, this is big.
Oh my god, and I love where they're farming it too. Such a defensive place. They don't have to, they have lots of escape points if they get run down. Lina can do this from range. Oh my god, this steal.
Some of these neutral. Amar's making his way over. Looks like Gojira is going to get punished for this, though. He is going to probably be the sacrificial lamb. Down he goes.
The old Mask Mana. So, okay, they got some of it, certainly. All right, quite a lot of it, actually.
Yes.
Great steal. Experience being stolen as well. Still decent for Omar getting the kill. It's his third there, getting himself 200 for the clockwork kill, and with his Mask of Madness finished, his damage potential is super high. BZM finding Chris Smile here in the jungle. We'll see if Ty can get close enough.
There's the combo like we talked. Oh, all right. Well, they managed to miss that one remnant there, but they'll still follow up with the Inkswell, with the silence, and they'll collect a kill on C Smile. Gojira trying to put some pressure back out here. Does have to be careful though. Amar is here. There's a lot of, yeah, exactly. Cogs are gonna have to get dropped. We'll get a bit of a slow. Amar, he wants this though. He's popped that mask kill, get the kill. But this is allowing for a bit of breathing room and space here for K1, which I think is probably the plan with what they're going for by sending Gojira there.
That was definitely some crazy battery assaulting my opponent's moment, though. Even against the two heroes, the best thing he was going to be able to do there is some HP harassment. He was trying to get them to stay in the lane. In some ways it's good because then Amar's not pushing the creep wave as quickly, taking the tower as quickly, finishing his blink as quickly, but it also frees up the other heroes where they might not have gotten the kill either way. So, I don't know, pretty close game right now, but OG's definitely out-rotating just a little bit against their opponents. 7-4 currently. And Hector is still catching up. He's about middle of the pack, the least farmed core in this match.
Which is usually what you want to try to do against K1 Hector, right? Is you want to try to hamper his farming ability, you know, and just slow him down, because if he gets any sort of a lead, that man is a beast. But flip side of this, Whisper just picking up that Blink Dagger, nicely fresh here. He's all smoked up with Stinger. They're on the hunt. They're sending out Gojira. And Mars over on the low ground. Gonna go in for the hook shot, just for starters. Follow up with the arena, with the spear there. Putting a lot of pressure over on Amar because they want to make sure that he doesn't have an incredible game. As K1 Hector over on the backside here. It's Rage off, turns back around over onto BZM. He's gonna jump back in though against Stinger. He's gonna throw out the disruption. Nice Inkswell will stun up. Gojira though with the cock splitting people up, going for that vest over on the Stinger. They try to keep him alive, they'll end up losing Seb over on the back line. They get the soul bind off as well, but Yuragi's next to fall. Beast Coast, they're on the hunt. They would like to grab BCM. They'd like to grab Taiga. Can they get over there fast enough though? The blink? No, it's not going to be able to connect. Draw back LSA. Taiga with the dancing shoes is not going to be enough though. That's a double kill now for C-Smile.
Not
a
over.
little bit more. Yeah, they're going back in. Good cogs though coming out. Whisper is going to eventually fall though. So it looks like now Gojira, he's gonna try to teleport out. He's not gonna be able to do it. Amar is here. Amar has the hits, the bashes, everything that's necessary, and will eventually bash in that little robot.
A little unfortunate. They almost saved the Mars with the power cogs, but he killed the wrong one. When Void Spirit jumped out, he didn't get pushed by the cogs as expected, so might have bought a little bit more time. Either way, still a pretty good fight for Beast Coast overall, in my opinion. The Lina stays alive. They did a great job keeping Hector alive, in addition to Stinger with the Inkswell. They infested the Shadow Demon. The Shadow Demon disrupted himself to the Shadow World or wherever the hell he goes. And then he comes back and they both pop out like, all right, continuing to fight. And they picked off Seb in the meantime, and they killed the Nether Ward right at the start with Hector's Rage. So I thought that was really well handled by Beast Coast as a whole, but OG cleans up slightly effectively towards the end, but still a very even game. Hector catching up in network though. They also killed Yuragi, the Tiny. That was really, really effective. Very good for the Beast Coast side, and he's currently equal net worth to Lifestealer. Although when
they
he
go
hits
for the scan. Oh, Hector, look at. Oh my god. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? That ward was so value. Taiga just waltzes on by.
That's a big kill. That was
That's
a level 1 Stroke of Fate too. It wasn't even like highly leveled, but he was like, yoink, we'll take this.
Well, I mean, he was sitting so low. He's being too greedy.
That's the armlet nerf right there. It drains, well, it got fixed. It was only draining 40 health per second instead of the 45 it was supposed to be. It just got fixed, so it's technically nerfed. Might have been the reason he was extra low there in that circumstance. He's got 3 points in Feast to try to offset some of the HP he's been losing, but big kill. That, wow, the network changed a lot from that.
Yeah.
The mid lane.
Over there, they use the arena.
Yep.
They'll get Taiga. He'll end up falling here. But again, it's a support. They will put some pressure over onto the mid lane, though. You have to be careful. They have the teleports. They have the blink dagger on the Slard as Yuragi gets tossed back over onto Whisper. They do go for the infest. It's not looking good enough for Whisper. He is going to fall, but they do manage to get Hector out in the nick of time. Tower goes down, but again, this got a bit of this rotation here coming out from OG. Looks like they're going to put some pressure over on the mid tower of Beast Coast.
They got to defend their tower, and then this is all fine. But it's going to be a little scary.
Tira, okay. He's going to spend some time over here on the side. They do have that life drain. BZM continuing, and he'll pop.
Man, this is the downside. They got a little too aggressive on the mid tower, thinking they could get it. They got it, but then their tower gets pressured. They burn a lot of cooldowns. Now they have 2 dead heroes, which means that it's even harder to survive this. But Seb putting a really aggressive ward down that'll help spot rotations lane. Amar has his Blink Dagger finished as well, so he's super ready to collapse as soon as needed in the mid lane. But it looks like they will defend their tower in the mid here.
Well, they know he's got the blink now. Looks like they're gonna go for maybe a smoke? Grouped up, nah.
I like that these 3 heroes are playing together. Clockwork, Mars, and Lina. They kind of need at least 2 of them to set up their combos easier. Hookshot into Spear is much simpler. Hookshot into Light Strike Array, Spear into Light Strike Array. They have tons of damage with these 3 guys, and that gives time for Hector to hit creeps the way he wants. And then Stinger's just sitting in the mid lane, spamming out Shadow Poison to try to slow down pushes, to keep the Pugna away from towers. It's so important that you do this because Pugna can just siege it by casting Nether Blast. So if you just keep the creep wave super far from the tower, they just simply can't get in range to cast and cheese your tower out. And if the dire side is able to take that tower, it just becomes a lot easier to take Roche. So that's why it was so value in a lot of cases for Beast Coast to steal that tower kill in the first place. Hector just taking a ride here, the heal bus inside the Shadow Demon. He's like, hey man, I need to heal on you. Walk over to the Ancients because that's where I'm going next. It's like, but I want to go do something. Nope, too bad, sorry.
Nothing like having your own personal driver, right?
Yes. Yeah, the armlet regen thing. It's hurting him a bit. See if they can defend. Tower's looking pretty dead here. Taiga's kind of committing to it. It's deniable.
I mean, they go for the hook shot. They will connect over onto Taiga. Puts the Inkswell down, the silence over onto Gojira, but this should still be a dead Grimstroke. Although BCM sees an opportunity, says, yeah, all right, we'll lose our support, and I will get a kill on yours.
I think that's pretty worth it for the Beast Coast side, though. I mean, they get the tower denied, I assume.
Yes, that was denied.
Okay. They do get the deny, giving them some gold. Losing the tower is not the best. Maybe Taiga's not too upset because they got the trade, but they're still farming pretty fast. It is 17 minutes. Shard's up on Tiny. He's just now going to finish his Moon Shard, his other Shard. And then he's going to attack super fast and be a pretty competitive carry. Hector got kind of low top, beefing with Slardar a little bit, but into the Roche Pit they go. Hector's low. He doesn't have Infest. I don't know if they
have
know
vision,
that,
though.
but
They've got this vision. They've got a Blink Dagger onto Whisper. If they want to try to make something happen, Singer probably just going to continue to do some scouting. Because they do get a little nervous. They'll go for a smoke play, though, over onto OG. Perhaps get some sort of jump immediately over onto Seasmount. In fact, that's exactly what BZM wants to do. Can they follow up? Is he close enough, though, to get the save? No, he's not. So they end up losing the Lina. Now Whisper running for his life. He's silenced up. They were just not in position to get the save off. Plus, with the Soulbind just holding everybody together. A nice play coming out from OG. And they're going to reward themselves with a nice double damage rune outside the Roche.
I mean, they were going to get Roche anyways. Don't get too upset, Nahas. But Stinger messed up really bad there. He went to the top lane to push it out a bit. I don't know if OG spotted that, but at the same moment, Chris Luck was like, oh, I can kill this Nether Ward. He did get it. But if he's got a disruption there to save him from that Inkswell follow-up.
Oh, we got a jetpack going on here. Gojira trying, but will be forced to just hookshot away as Yuraki's going to finish up this Roche. He's trying to get that kill on Roche as well. Was not able to.
They're definitely doing some typical SA chaos shit, that's for sure. Stinger, ooh.
I don't know what this banner thing is on the side.
Okay, he gets out. Which banner thing?
This.
What in the hell is that?
I don't know.
What button did you press?
I don't know.
Okay, I've never seen that in my whole life.
JJ, help.
Oh, it's probably just some hotkey for layer. That's all. It was probably like a layer hotkey that you pressed that you didn't know existed. Don't press the keyboard anymore.
I have to press the keyboard.
But yeah, Stinger needed to be there to cover Chris Luck if he was going to do aggressive stuff like that. OG was able to punish them as a result. They get Roshan and Aegis, and that means Tiny's going to continue to farm. Hector's net worth is not that bad. Quicksilver Amulet would be excellent on him, unless the Lina wants it. But yeah, Deso is up on Lifestealer as well.
We've got another little bit of a hunt over here. Taiga with that Inkswell. It's going to be able to slow down Gojira, and it's going to be enough time here for Yuragi to make his way over. And he's got the jetpack, though. Looks like he's going to be able to get out.
That was cool.
As BZM goes and collects a kill on Akador.
Ooh, that's a big one.
That's a huge one, and that's the double damage that
yeah.
Oh, and the tips coming out from OG. They're feeling sassy.
I mean, he did die in the middle of the river in kind of a weird place, so it gets gone on. Again, the amp damage plus the stun stuff is... It's a lot of damage with the Mask of Madness.
Pings are coming out against Seasmile. They see this Lina. They have multiple heroes in the vicinity. They just finished up the Aghanim Scepter for the Void Spirit too, so that's the silence that'll be used. As OG's in a very nice position here around this bottom tower. They've got lots of good vision too.
Yeah, their vision is really scary. Even approaching the tower to defend it is tough, and Tiny's just going to beat it down so quickly. Rocket is actually helping a lot though. 200 AoE damage to the creep wave.
Ooh, but he's going to pay for it.
That's Agh's finish on Void Spirit, so instant silence, no reaction from the Clockwork, and tower goes. No, they're gonna try.
Gonna go all right, they go. They jump over onto Taiga. It is only Taiga though, so they'll finish off. And now Seasmile pops the BKB. He's gonna be forced to run away because Amar in this position. Oh, they want to follow up. They'll still be able to get the pop over onto the Lina. Whisper pumping his own BKB. He's got that infest, but they'll lose Stinger. The buyback coming out from Seasmile. They're not willing to let them have anything else. They have a Cardi Wave too, and still have that Aegis online for Yuragi. He can afford to get very aggressive if he wants to.
Such a good moment for OG with the Aegis here, getting those kills. Tower's surely gonna fall. No glyph for a very long time. These on the tier 2.
Okay, they're going for the hook shot though, coming out from Gojira. There's gonna be a little bit of the life drain, the silence, get the toss up, and that is just a dead Schofield. My God.
If they can't defend.
No, they cannot. Amar's thinking about going for a little bit of a dive there. He sees K1, and he knows that they really can't do anything against it right now.
This all came from the Aegis, really. I mean, Tiny's all in on mobility and attack speed items, so the fact that he's survivable from the Aegis means that pushing is just such a simple thing. So all kind of comes down to not saving the Lina falling into the Aegis, and now their ability to push and defend, or push and siege. And they kind of just exploit Lina's mid-game issue. A lot of int cores, what they have and problem is that they don't have that much armor in the mid-game. They've got magic immunity with BKB, but they're not that physically survivable. So here, like, Slardar really exploits that. He jumps on these heroes, he lowers their armor, bashes them like once, and all of a sudden Lina's at 20% HP. So BZM was able to use his Astral Step to clean her up, even through magic immunity, because Astral Step does go through it. And he was level 18, I'm pretty sure, so it did like 250 or 350 magic damage. So she ends up dying. And then their defense is basically gone.
Oh, no. Oh, they walk right into Hector. K1 is dead again. They're going to continue to look for a find. They'll find Stinger. They've got that Ing Swell. Kate Disruption will come out. There's going to be the buyback. Or, sorry, not the buyback. They'll get the pop over to Stinger. Whisper hiding in this tree line wants nothing to do with it, but yeah. They have found themselves C-Smile, and he is just out of here.
Just absolutely pressuring the whole map. They saw Lina. They knew she was running back, and Amar just keeps prepping that 3-hit. He gets the instant bash, he ulties, he stuns, and then with Mask of Madness, he gets another bash in before the Slither and Crush is done, basically, with a little follow-up from his allies. So just incredible pressure so far. And now Beast Coast is just massively on the back foot. Not just their bottom racks, but now they're just getting crushed as OG runs together as 5. Still exploiting the same freaking Aegis timing. It's just amazing play from OG. Basically what we expected to see from them this tournament before they roster swapped. They're still playing solid. I mean, maybe Seb died a little bit too much in the laning stage, but everything else that OG's doing is amazing. And that's like a really minor criticism. Taiga accidentally finds Clockwork here, top lane.
Oh boy. Yeah, well, I mean, Gojira, this is classic Gojira. He just tries to make space. He tries to make them chase him. He's going to go and throw out the cogs, but they have BZM. They had a tower to teleport to. And he's just so gosh darn mobile.
Yeah, Taiga moved up there. He just moved to the tree line, happens to run into him, created a conflict, and now OG's going to play a little bit safer now that the Aegis is gone, but now this bought time for Tiny to get his BKB. So now he's not really at threat anymore at all. Doesn't have to worry about the Mars too much. Lina combo is less scary. We haven't really seen Beast Coast use the BKB offensively. It's always defensively for C-Smile due to them being on the back foot the last couple fights. And defensive BKBs not getting kill trades puts you at this huge gold deficit that they're now facing.
OG has such good control of this game right now, not only with the fact that, you know, it's very scary for anyone outside of East Coast to make any moves, but oh, yes, it is indeed. They might be able to get Yuragi down here. They'll end up losing Stinger, but eventually, all right, yeah, they'll be able to finally take down Yuragi. They've got the BKBs up. C-Smile, though, he can't afford to go down again. The Soulbind holding them into place. They've got the arena, though. They're going to try to turn back around. Can they do it? Okay, good disruption coming out. We'll be able to keep C-Smile alive for just a little bit longer. He will eventually fall, though. Not quite enough to get BZM, but they try to go for that. They'll be able to go. They keep they take down BZM. They get the gem, the jetpack coming up from Gojira. He wants Seb so badly, but he's got to get over there first. Whisper joining back in. Nice spear over into the tree line. K1 waiting patiently here. Gets a couple hits. It's a double kill.
Huge catch there by Whisper. That won them the fight without a doubt. He jumps in, disables the Tiny right next to Lifestealer. He's down to 40% HP before he's able to BKB. And then from there, they can actually chase the guy down. I mean, they're hitting him with Ghoul Frenzy, Feast damage. Lina was chipping for some good right-click too using Grove Bow. They end up getting a really, really big fight for Beast Coast, and that was a 3,000 gold swing. OG made 1 gold from that fight. Surprisingly in the fight recap.
That's better than nothing, but yeah, no, definitely a fight that was very much needed here for the side of Beast Coast.
So they can fight. If they can initiate the fight with chain stuns, doing a lot of damage to one of these BKB targets, harder for them to commit to the engagement afterwards.
Now they've got their own BKB online for the Lifestealer, so getting closer and closer to a Blink Dagger over on Lina for a bit of positioning. I feel like they've been relying a lot on Gojira to kind of get these picks, like getting the, you know, the vision, kind of being in the right place, right time in that initiation. There's been a lot of pressure on him, whereas Stinger having to play kind of conservatively, right? More defensive with that disruption, making sure that he can keep his cores alive should they get jumped on. As Whisper here, top lane, he had to go for that BKB. Does not have the TP available. Oh, they're gonna just miss the hook shot. Stinger, though, going forward. Follow up with the LSA. Good hit over onto the side. Are they gonna be able to get filled through the arena? No, they won't be able to quite finish off a Mars. Gojira here with the jetpack, trying to give some vision. Will go right past BZM, and he will eventually fall.
That was the right choice for Gojira to go backline like this to try to disrupt the fight, but great save there by OG. They tossed Amar out of the arena, They also pumped heal into him from Seb, and this helped keep him alive. Otherwise, he should have died there, in my opinion. But ends up staying alive. Great reaction from OG. And then they end up losing Clockwork while he was on the back line, doing his job the correct way. So they're going to defend the tower a little bit here. Great ward being put down. They've got excellent vision from all these trees being dead. So yeah, Yuragi's just going to 4-tap this tower. And now they get to invade more. But the gem is still on Beast Coast, I believe. Yeah, Stinger's got it. So still a little hairy for OG right now, but they're trying to set up for the next Roshan. It's up in about 45 seconds. And whoever gets that, if it's OG, I just feel like they're going to push the game for an end. But if Beast Coast can contest the fight, kill Roshan, steal Aegis, deny any of that, this game can go on for a lot longer, and they can put them in a better spot as a late game carry. Because I feel like as the game goes ultra late, Lifestealer against the Tiny is not that bad of a matchup, because he's going to get a lot of damage dealt from Feast and a lot of lifesteal back too.
The question is, how do they approach a fight coming up from Beast Coast? Because right now it definitely still feels like OG, very powerful. They're in the driver's seat. How does Beast Coast make this happen? Because there's no way that they're going to get... at this point, I don't believe they're going to find any sort of a pick off.
I mean, you certainly need your jump against your opponents. That's the big thing. They need to have vision advantage. Dewarding some enemy wards would be really helpful. Right now, they're hanging out as 5 because they're going to keep rocketing Roshan. They'll know exactly when it's up, so they don't need to stay in the area. One of the advantages of having a Clockwork on your team, they do see that Rosh is available. There is a shard available, and OG is going to go for a smoke. So if Hector gets chainstun and dies here, bad time for Beast Coast.
I mean, that's what it's looking like right now.
He's got BKB though. He's protected.
He does.
That's the difference maker. Before it was like Void Spirit going in first and silencing, but he can save himself now if he fast. Or it's got to be Slardar bashing. But they spot him. Their Observer Ward does spot OG. They're gonna keep rocketing Roshan. They'll know exactly when OG starts, and now they can just position well. They smoke themselves. They're looking for an initiation.
They're in the pit. They're dancing around here a little bit. They're looking like they don't want to fully hard commit just yet. Another rocket coming in. They got to get in there fast. Amar on the prowl here. Whisper looking at this opening. Oh, he immediately gets jumped on by Amar, though.
Rosh is kind of low.
Sitting very low. Hector making his way over towards the pit. We'll go in for the rage. It's not quite low enough to get these final hits up. The bash, the fall in with Whisper. These BKBs, the soul bite, though, go down. It's still going to be Yuragi. He picks up the Aegis. They'll get the cleanup over onto Taiga. Stinger next to fall. The buybacks are coming out. Taiga, he wants to be back in there, but Amar just doing too much damage. Takes down K1, takes down Whisper.
They did it. Wow, what a great siege and great Roshan by OG. They basically abused the Clockwork Rocket. It's been nerfed many times. It gives you vision for 6 seconds. The Rocket Flare came in, they spotted that. Once it goes out, they ran in, they used everything on Rosh as fast as they could to kill it. So that forced Beast Coast to have to get there quicker than they maybe wanted to. They relied too much on the Rocket Flare. They underestimated the power of Slardar ulti. And then when Lifestealer gets in the pit, starts hitting Tiny and hitting Rosh, he just starts getting chain bashed. Amar jumps in. They hit him with chain bashes, with stuns. He got leashed together, so he couldn't even get close to where Rosh died itself. And Yuragi just cleans up the Aegis really, really simply. Like, he does pop BKB on Lifestealer, but at that point he was very low. He couldn't even fest, I don't believe. Just chain stunned all the way to death. So Beast Coast forced to react in a sloppy way, and OG punishes it, closes the game out.
Yeah, there it is. There's the GG, gets called, and OG gonna pick themselves, get themselves a little bit of a kill, but they finally managed to take down Amar there.
Just excellent game by OG, I gotta say. The leading stage was totally fine. Beast Coast looked decent there, good, I would say. But the mid game was still okay as well. But once it came to like objectives and taking Roshan, you could just really tell the difference. Beast Coast was sloppier, I would say. Look at that beautiful player cam. Yeah, there's Amar.
There he is.
You know, it's really hard to tell it's him. If he's not in a dark room with a downwards towards upwards camera shot, but I believe that is the Slardar master himself. Played an excellent game. His laning stage went good. They got that double kill that was really crucial. It kept K1 down a little bit, and then they transitioned that into